At King County, each day we have a team of folks that are stewards of a park system that includes more than 200 parks, 175 miles of regional trails, several hundred miles of backcountry trails throughout the region that are really powered by the people of King County who approved the 2020-2025 Parks Levy, which these grants programs are part of today, and that's what we're here to share the news about. In addition to funding maintenance and operations and programs at King County Parks, Executive Constantine and the King County Council included $110 million in grant funding for partners that advance our shared commitment to offering safe, inclusive parks, trails, and natural areas that promote healthy, connected communities. In a few minutes, we'll hear from Executive Constantine, who will announce the latest package of the King County Parks Levy grants funds. But first, I want to just take a quick moment to recognize a few key electeds and a few partners in the audience here today. I'll start with our host today, Seattle Parks and Recreation Superintendent A.P. Diaz, who I think is here today. A.P., thank you. Thanks for having us. I'd also like to welcome State Senator Rebecca Saldana, who is here as well. Thank you for being here. As well as Mayor Troy Linnell of Algona. Mayor, thank you for coming this morning. It takes many people working together to evaluate the grant applications. There are many applications that come through. There's a lot of interest with these grant programs. And we're honored to have a few of the advisory members here today that really contributed their time, really leaned into this process, and really helped provide the recommendations that were before you here today. Michelle Benetua is here, who was part of that process. Michelle, thank you so much. Kitty Craig, who I'm not sure is here as well, who was part of that process, and many, many others who really helped us really provide their expertise and their time being part of those grant committees. I'd also like to thank the tribal organizations who provided tribal consultation, as well as the Parks Levy Oversight Board, and the King County Department of Natural Resources and Parks team, many folks who were part of that process, including our capital project team, Department of Local Services, Historical Preservation Program, and Water and Land Resources. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to our first speaker, who is King County Executive Dow Constantine. Dow.
Well, thank you, Warren, and thanks to everyone for joining us here today. We're here in Seattle's Central District, a community with a vibrant, dynamic, rich cultural history. And, keeping friends and families and communities like the CD connected requires welcoming places where people can gather, where people can relax and play. The Garfield Community Center has been a popular gathering place for decades. But Mayor Harrell and his leadership at Seattle Parks and Recreation see potential, more potential, to make this place even better for the next generation. The Garfield Super Block will offer more recreational opportunities, more inclusive playground equipment, safety upgrades, a new path with ramps to connect more people to more amenities. I'm grateful that King County's largest city has the vision to enhance the places that strengthen community. Of course, I know from personal experience that the vision is not enough. You need funding to take that vision and make it real for people. And fortunately for all of us, the people of King County agree. Yesterday, the King County Council unanimously approved our plan to allocate nearly $30 million in funding generated by the King County Parks Levy, supporting 53 projects that will contribute to the quality of life across our region. We'll invest in projects led by tribes, led by cities, led by park districts, school districts, and nonprofits that meet the needs of communities. Together, we will build and upgrade aquatic facilities. We'll enhance parks and trails. We'll protect and restore river corridors. And we will make access to healthy recreation more equitable. I won't go through line by line each of the 53 projects, but I do want to take a moment to share just a few examples to give you a flavor of what we are going to be able to achieve with our partners. We will make aquatic facilities safer and more accessible and more energy efficient. We'll create a new skate park in Rainier Beach, install lighting at the BMX track in SeaTac, and build a paved trail connecting businesses, schools, and the library in Fall City. We'll help the city of Tukwila build a path that connects the new estuary that we created along the Duwamish River to their riverfront park just upstream. We'll support events and programs that promote equitable access to parks, trails, and campgrounds, and make cycling more accessible for BIPOC youth and communities. We'll invest $500,000 to construct an accessible adventure playground with soft surface trails for an underserved community near North Bend. We'll make it safer and easier to kayak the Middle Fork Snoqualmie River with improvements to King County's Tanner Landing Park. And we will invest $800,000 in this Garfield super block in the Central District. The people of King County sent a strong, clear message when they overwhelmingly approved the Parks Levy I put forward in 2019. They want us to invest in the places that connect us to one another and to the natural environment that defines this corner of the country. They want us to enhance and modernize parks, trails, and swimming pools while making them more accessible. They want us to recognize that our population is growing and will continue to grow, and to build the facilities that that growing population is going to need. Now, whether you want to bike or hike, kayak or swim, or simply relax in a green space, you will have more options to stay healthy and connected. So, to the members of the advisory committees, thank you for conducting a rigorous review. You identified the best opportunities for us to contribute to success and to ensure that our investments reflect the values of the people of our region. To each of the grant recipients, including our hosts today, first off, congratulations, but importantly, thank you for creating 53 roadmaps to a healthier, more racially just, better connected future. And to members of our King County Council, including Councilmember Rod Dembowski, who I'm grateful to have with us here today. I'll delay this, Rod, until the plane's gone overhead, okay? I'll like draw it out. Thank you for your shared commitment to improving the quality of life for everyone who calls this place home. Please welcome King County Councilmember Rod Dembowski.
Thank you very much, Executive Constantine, and thank you for your tremendous leadership over many decades with respect to preserving and protecting outdoor spaces and our special lands and waterways here in King County, and through our Parks Levy, making them accessible to all. My name is Rod Dembowski. It's a privilege to serve on the Metropolitan King County Council. I represent the 1st District, which is North Seattle, the communities of Shoreline, Lake Forest Park, Kenmore, Bothell, and North Kirkland. And I chair the Council's Transportation, Economy, and Environment Committee. And I'm very excited to be here today for many reasons. But perhaps most exciting for me is the tremendous success that we are having in our Penny for Pools initiative, which is included in the Parks Levy. When the levy came over, I was able to successfully add an amendment of 1 cent per $1,000 of assessed valuation to make an investment for the first time on a regional basis in public swimming pools since the Forward Thrust initiative of the late 1960s. And the program so far has been a tremendous success. The voters loved it. It includes about $44 million over the course of the levy for cities, park districts, schools, and other public entities who are constructing new pools or keeping their pools that they have going, able to do that. Again, the last time there was a major investment in pools was the Forward Thrust Initiative, and that initiative built many, many public pools around the region, including in Shoreline, Lake Washington, Bellevue, Renton, Federal Way, Highline. In fact, as a little kid growing up in Renton, I swam and learned to swim in the old Henry Moses pool. It aged out and closed, much like many of these now. The city of Shoreline recently had to tear down their 50-year-old forward thrust pool. It's gone. The pool in Bothell is gone. The pool at St. Ed's Park is gone. The pool at Magnuson Park, which was not a forward thrust pool, but it's gone. And that really restricts and limits the ability of young people to learn how to swim. Everything we do at King County, we put an equity lens on, and that is particularly important in this space. And I think it's appropriate that we're here in the shadow of the Medgar Evers Pool, built in 1969 as part of the Model Cities program from the federal government. There's a long history in this country of segregation in the swimming space. And as desegregation occurred, an increasing precedence of privatization occurred in the swimming arena. People got out of the public pool business, went into the private pool business, and that affects mostly folks who are working class, who are poor, and who are kids of color. And the stats, unfortunately, bear that out. 79% of kids in households of $50,000 or under can't swim or have low swimming ability. And it disproportionately affects kids of color. 64% of African American kids, 45% of Latino kids have trouble swimming or can't swim, compared to 40% of Caucasian children. The power of public investment in pools is an equity issue, and it's an economic issue to bring them back. And so this is exciting to see. Up in my district, the Juanita Pool, built in 1971, serves about 6 high schools. It's aging out. We're putting $2 million into bringing that pool back to life and extending its life. And we're doing that all over. Indeed, the new Henry Moses Pool in Renton is also getting a grant. I'm excited about the study money that's in here to help communities plan for the future of pools. And it's just an important investment that this county has renewed a commitment to, and it's exciting to see. I really appreciate the opportunity to share a few words about our swimming pool investments today and all of the great programs that we're having. And it is now my real pleasure to introduce to you my friend, a mayor who knows the importance of athletics and teaching leadership and confidence and life skills, because he's lived that himself from right here in the Central District, our mayor, Bruce Harrell.
I'm very honored to stand in celebration of the 53 projects that the levy is financing. And I'll tell you that if you look around right now, you look at who's here, you'll notice something. And I want you to take pause of this. You notice that I'm the only one wearing a tie. Because this is a big deal. You guys didn't get the memo? This is a big deal. I dressed up for the occasion. Because these investments really get to the core of what we're trying to do in the city, which is bring vibrancy, bring health, bring unity, bring love, bring environmental sustainability to our communities. Our park system, Seattle Park System, includes nearly 500 parks and playfields and community centers, and I really liked the way Councilmember Dembowski talked about the history, sometimes an ugly history in the city of Seattle. I don't quite know why when he started talking about forward thrust in the 1960s, he looked directly at me as though I were around there. He ages me all the time. I'm old, I get it, Councilmember. But I'll tell you that I'm very proud to be here. My mom and dad met as high school sweethearts there in Seattle, so whenever there's an opportunity to talk about this particular project that I'll say some words about, I get giddy. I get excited because I'm very blessed to be the mayor, but more importantly, I'm very blessed to see what great investments like this, the fruit that it brings. So our park system includes 500 parks, playfields, community centers, all of which we're trying to build to protect these assets and invest in these assets to bring what we call our One Seattle approach. Over the last year, our core philosophy has been to first look at the maintenance of our park system, to do the basics very, very right. That's why this support from the levy becomes so critically important. I was very simple in my opening remarks about a year and a half ago. I said, I want the bathrooms and the areas clean, open, accessible to all, while making investments to improve safety, combat climate change, but I want them to be a place where we can say we take pride in how we protect these assets. So What did that equate to? It meant that we wanted our public restrooms open and accessible all year round. We wanted to reestablish our park rangers program. You may recall that we proposed and will deploy 26 new park rangers within our parks. We added a new parks team to quickly respond to graffiti and vandalism. And we know that, quite frankly, this requires a lot of intensity, a lot of effort. We funded 20,000 hours of youth employment opportunities per year. We increased tree planting opportunities to help restore urban natural areas. We decarbonized more community centers and parks facilities to build climate resilience in our assets. This is always all very intentional in our administration, so that's why I'm very thrilled here at Garfield to celebrate the Garfield Super Block renovation project that will receive $800,000 in funding from the King County Parks Levy. And is Ms. King, I think I love your T-shirt. I have one below the tie, and it's just like that. It says Garfield Bulldogs behind it. Thank you. You know, we're excited that the levy funding will go. I'm going to call out a few projects, if I may, supporting our parks and recreations and community-driven programs, just to name a few. The new Rainier Beach Skate Park, which will provide access to healthy and fun recreation activities for all ages on our south end. All ages. The safety and accessibility improvements to Little Brook Park in Lake City, we're very excited about that. Construction planning for the Kobodo Garden Visitor Center, that's going to be an outstanding project. The Bike Works, Seattle's bicycle education program for communities in Southeast Seattle to improve access to cycling opportunities. Senator Sadania made us do that one, so we didn't have a choice on that one, protecting her district. We actually look forward to how neighbors and families will use these revitalized spaces and programs to come together and strengthen the fabric of our communities. So I say this in closing in all seriousness, that I realize my charter responsibility as mayor are to make sure we're safe, to make sure people get help, that in a very wealthy city we have way too many people falling through the cracks that are unhoused and unhealthy. And I'm hoping that through our youth that they will help us as well tackle these real tough issues. And when I see these kinds of investments that the county are really leading the way, I think, in the country, leading the way, that these become safe places for us where we could talk about the most difficult issues and hold hands together. When I talk about One Seattle, I always envision us holding hands. And I close by saying, this is why I wore the tie. I actually put it on in the car to come here, because this is a big deal. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Robert Stevens. I want to start by giving honor to the Duwamish people on which land we are on. And I'm hoping and willing that the ancestors, as well as the present families of that tribe, are pleased of what all of us are doing, not only here at Garfield, but in the other parks. Now I got to squeeze 20 years into 2 minutes. I want to start by saying that if you ever want to know what a community-led, the old term is grassroots, but a community-led project, you need to come and look through our materials and talk to the people on here. Because community people have to sometimes scheme and crook and nook to get to where they want to. Well, this is how this started. I just happened to be on the Garfield renovation team when we renovated Garfield High School. And we had to build a new Quincy Jones Theater, and we didn't have enough parking spaces for that. So the city has this thing called ordinance mitigation, where you can get what you want if you go back and ask the city to waive their ordinance. I schemed my way to get on that committee also. And I just happened to have some notes from our Mayor Norm Rice had us to do a neighborhood plan for what you want the community to look like in 20 years, and that's what they did. So I schemed and got on that. And out of that, I gave a set of notes and stuff that we had. So with that, we sort of pulled together a group of people to say, let's renovate Garfield Park. That started out where a coalition of us from the community sort of came and got together and sort of start begging and begging. And right now you're standing in the space of one of our spots that we had to build the center. This is called the living room. So moving forward, we've gotten a few dollars from a few good people that we will be renovating Jefferson, 23rd, Cherry, 25th. And the core of this is the group of 7 ethnic groups that lived in this area that we will be putting pieces of artwork and other information about those 7 groups. But what we're going to use these funds for is that we found that we missed and left out our ADA families. So these funds will go towards us milling. One of the main sites is here, but building ADA sites around, because this park has always been an exclusive place for everybody to come through and enjoy and play ball or do whatever you would like to do out in the openings. So on behalf of the central area, on behalf of our coalition team, and with permission of the mayor, on behalf of Mayor and Councilman Z, he's Councilman Z to me because I don't know his name. And we want to thank you and really appreciate you all for showing us that love, and the rest of you out there that have been helping us. I see it's about 2 minutes, so thank you for coming out. Thank you for granting us this, and if we need any help with the work that you guys are doing out in the area with your parks, please feel free to come, because we're doing all this together for our kids. Thank you.
I'd like to offer this opportunity to express my gratitude to Executive Constantine, Councilmember Dembowski, King County Parks staff, and to all the voters who supported this program. Thank you. I'd like to share one example of the on-the-ground impact that this program has on a river and a community. My name is Whitney Neugebauer, and I'm the Executive Director of Whale Scout, a nonprofit based in Bothell, Washington. As a recipient of the Open Space River Corridors grant, our project reconnects the community to steward the land at a formerly privately owned golf course. In partnership with the City of Bothell, our local community and young students now have the opportunity to lead riparian habitat restoration along the banks of the Sammamish River at a new public park. Water quality in the Sammamish River regularly falls below state standards, hurting salmon and limiting recreational opportunities. Whale Scouts project will plant over 3,000 native trees and shrubs, adding much needed shade, improving water temperature and oxygen levels, and intercepting stormwater runoff from a nearby highway. Today, many people feel disconnected from the natural world behind screens or indoors. Connecting the public with outdoor activities where they can touch, smell, and feel the fundamental components of our ecosystem leaves lasting impressions. We see our project at the intersection of recreation and conservation, where people are empowered to actively understand and steward our community river. As a central part of the project, diverse local students will receive career training in riparian restoration, vegetation and water quality monitoring, educational outreach, and gain leadership experiences while being paid living wages. King County's commitment to supporting naturally functioning rivers as key resources for healthy communities through the Parks Levy program makes this type of work possible. While killer whales may act as a powerful lead-in for salmon and river restoration, it's the strength of these partnerships and people that get the job done. Thank you very much. I'd now like to introduce Nicole Nikula, Evergreen Pool.
Good morning, my name is Nicole Nikula. I'm the director at the Evergreen Aquatic Center. We are a small nonprofit that is Whitewater Aquatics Management, and we work in partnership with Highline Public Schools. And each year we serve 82,000 community members at our pool. Each year we teach 1,900 kids how to swim. And as an indoor pool, we are open year-round, and indoor pools are extremely expensive to maintain. So it is all possible through King County Parks to be able to continue to upgrade our systems and offer our services to our community, and being able to continue to teach so many kids how to swim and to continue to end statistics that should not happen in our communities.
Thank you. So nice to be here today and see all of you out for this event. My name is Michelle Benetua, and thank you, Warren, for the shout out. I am a member of the advisory committee for one of the Levy grant funds, the Healthy Communities and Parks Fund. I'm also co-chair of the King County Open Space Cabinet. So it's really incredibly exciting to see funding for ideas that originate with community, like the ones that you've just heard about, that really represent the vision and the perseverance, in many cases, of the people who are most connected with a place. The Healthy Communities and Parks Fund provides new and increased access for recreation, parks, and open spaces in underserved and historically excluded communities. And what is really noticeable about this fund in particular is that the funding can go to those communities directly, and not just to cities and large institutions, although they are open to receiving funding too. But this really means that the creative ideas and decision-making power rests with the communities that are often planned for by others, so that they also get the benefit that comes from the programming and the leadership that arise from these grants. So my hope for the future is that we have enough supply to meet the demand, so that more amazing and creative community-led projects and leaders who are changing the way we think about equitable access to parks, trails, recreation, and open spaces are funded. Thank you all. Have a great day.